In the late 1950s and early 1960s, a drug called thalidomide was marketed across 46 countries as a safe sedative and remedy for morning sickness. It was prescribed to pregnant women with the assurance that it was gentle, non-toxic, and even impossible to overdose. Behind this promise lay one of the most devastating pharmaceutical disasters in history. Tragedy that maimed over 10,000 children, caused thousands of miscarriages, and exposed the ethical void at the heart of global drug regulation too. Thalidomide was developed by a German pharmaceutical company founded by Hermann Wirtz SR, a former Nazi party member. The company employed many ex-Nazi scientists and marketed the drug under the name Contergan. It was released without adequate testing on pregnant women, and its teratogenic effects dose that caused birth defects were not discovered until years later. The deformities caused by thalidomide were grotesque and specific. Babies were born with phacomalea limbs that resembled flippers along with missing ears. Blindness, deafness, heart defects, and malformed internal organs. The timing of ingestion was critical. Taken on the 20th day of pregnancy, thalidomide could cause brain damage. On the 21st, eye deformities. On the 24th, arm malformations. And by day 28, leg damage. After 42 days, the drug no longer affected fetal development. In the United Kingdom alone, over 2,000 babies were born with thalidomide-related defects. Half died within months. Survivors were fitted with artificial limbs and subjected to lifelong medical interventions. In many cases, their existence was hidden, their stories buried beneath shame and silence. The tragedy was compounded by institutional denial. For years, pharmaceutical companies and regulators refused to acknowledge the scope of the damage. It wasn't until Frances Oldham Kelsey, a scientist at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, refused to approve thalidomide for sale in the United States that the tide began to turn. Her resistance prevented a similar catastrophe in America and catalyzed a global overhaul of drug approval processes too. But the deeper wound lies in the mythic betrayal, the ritual of trust violated. Thalidomide was not just a failed drug. It was a symbol of unchecked authority, of science severed from ethics, and of bodies sacrificed for profit. The survivors of thalidomide are not merely victims, they are living archives, wounded healers, and truth. Their existence demands a reckoning, not only with pharmaceutical negligence, but with the cultural machinery that allowed it to happen. Today, thalidomide is still used as a treatment for certain cancers and leprosy, but under strict regulation. Its legacy lives on in the laws it inspired, the survivors who speak out, and the ethical frameworks that now govern drug development. Yet the tragedy remains a cautionary tale. When institutions prioritize profit over protection, the most vulnerable pay the price. To honor the thalidomide survivors is to name the wound, expose to the ritual of betrayal, and build new mythologies where ethics are sacred and sovereignty is never sacrificed.